This is a test of the Boundary Park alert system. Hello and welcome to the Latics football phone-in.
Smooth.
I forgot what it was then.
It's fine. Don't worry.
Yeah, because we do so many Latics shows now. We've got this, we've got the Boundary Park alert system, and we've got a look at Latics, which is on Saturday mornings on Oldham Community Radio 99.7
FM.
FM. Good evening, David.
Good evening, Matthew.
No, not you, David Pollock.
All right. Sorry. I was wondering why you called me David.
Yeah,
then.
good day from Melbourne again. FA Cup run beckons.
Good day.
Well, we're already on a run, aren't we? We've won one.
It beckons. The run beckons.
Yeah. You going to Newport?
No.
No.
I've got things on Sunday.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Can't be bothered.
It's just a long drive, isn't it? I'd
So
like to go. I would like to.
It's in another country, Dave.
I know. Yakida.
Yeah.
Shamai.
Araf.
Stop.
It means slow, doesn't it?
Let me stop.
Does it?
I don't know.
It means slow. Araf. You see it written on the road,
Cymru means Wales.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't itch your eye.
And Gwerthinathu is services. Gwerthinathu. And like clucky is the.
Have you picked your song?
No, doing Welsh.
All right, doing Welsh well.
Well,
I think it's going to be a quiet one tonight, Dave.
I do as well because there's only 74, 73, 72. No, I'm joking. 74 free.
Well, we've only got one caller lined up as well.
Yeah.
There's EFL Cup on tonight, aren't there? So people are on Sky and on their dodgy boxes watching that.
Yeah, or watching Man United get beat hopefully by Newcastle.
Oh, here we go. North Wales Latic.
Cymru and Byth.
With some
that's
selection of
Wales. I think
Wales in the bath.
Yeah, and Byth.
I don't know. You might need to translate for us North Wales Latic because
we live in England.
We are ignorant to other languages because we're English, unfortunately. I'm afraid
I can do Spanish, but yeah.
No, you can't. You can't. Go on then.
Yeah. Hola, buenas noches. ¿Qué tal?
Dos cervezas, por favor.
Vale.
Stop it. Listen, please call in to talk about football. Because
I hope it's the Duolingo show with Matt Dean and Dave Bradley.
Listen, if we've not got any callers tonight, we'll just bin it off. I'm not bothered.
Well, yeah, that's fair.
Should we bring Jack in? Or
yeah,
were you going to say something then?
I was going to say, what did you think about Altrincham?
Well, why don't you ask Jack?
Okay. Jack,
save us.
Hiya, you're right.
Do you know any languages, Jack?
No.
It means Wales forever. So I don't know about the pronunciation exactly. Cymru
and Byth.
I think that one's pronounced Cymru and
Anyway, sorry, Jack. Go on, what did you want to say, mate?
I was at the last three games and I see we're scoring goals, but we're also letting a lot in. So, like under Thompson, we scored. I don't know how many we scored, but we didn't let in a few. We only let in quite a few, like only a little bit. So, I wonder what's going on because obviously we're playing quite well defensively, and now obviously we're letting quite a few in. So we've let 8 in. I think it is 3 to Fylde, 3 to Rochdale. Yeah, 8.
Yeah.
So I think it might be because everyone's adapting to a new change, but it's a bit worrying because we can score enough goals, but then again, it's a bit of a liability going defensively.
Do you think? Well, we were talking about this before, where we were a little bit unlucky with the second goal, weren't we, on Saturday with that penalty? It could have gone either way, couldn't it? And they didn't have a massive amount of chances that I recall.
No, we had the free kick,
yeah.
And then they went 1-on-1, and he did another good save, and I think Hudson did very well. He's made some good saves against Fylde, to be fair to him. It could have been 5 or 6, couldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I think something may have changed in the system. I think Will Sutton, not to bash him or anything like that, but I think he's been struggling the last few games. So,
well, Matthew here says what a difference to have a recognised right back on Saturday.
yeah.
Mhm.
So I think that playing Freeman was the better option, apart from the first goal, which I think he was at fault for, along with Green. But I think we'll get there with Mellon, because I think, you know, in the second half they didn't really have much of a sniff, did they? We controlled the game in large parts, didn't we?
Yeah. To be fair, the much better team on Saturday. It was unlucky for us to get a draw.
Yeah, I thought we should have won the game. I think we played in great patterns of play. We played in shapes and moving up in different like triangle, playing in triangles and moving up the pitch. So the patterns of play were really impressive for me. I think undercover squid is saying that Freeman linked up with Norwood quite well, and I think he did for our first goal, because it was a great goal, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. But do you know what? This is what really infuriates about football, because when you watch that, it was so simple. It was just 1-2, 1-2, wasn't it? It was just really, really easy football, and you create the space, not overcomplicating it. It's just about being in the right place and making the right decision. And it was a cracking finish from Norwood, wasn't it? The composure that he had to just smash it into the top of the goal like that. It was just like, that's what he does. So it's just about finding him in the space, and he's got to be in the box. With every time when you see him in those positions, he buries it, doesn't he? Norwood, how many has he got now? 7 or something like that?
Yeah, 7, I think he is.
Delighted to score as well, didn't he?
Yeah, he really did, yeah. But that's what he does. Like, he's like, yeah, this is what I do, man. Let's score goals.
I know, but if I was getting like a 500 quid goal bonus and £4,000 a week, I'd be pretty happy.
Yeah. Well, what do you think? And do you think what do you think the reason for why we're shipping goals? Is it just one of those things? Are we just going through? Do you think we're like, overall we've got a pretty good defence?
Yeah, you see the players got in defence. It's a well-structured defence, but obviously we're going through a bit of a change with a new manager. We've had a few new managers, so they're just adapting to the situation.
I'll tell you what, Dave. You met Mickey Mellon for the first time.
Yeah, I did.
And interviewed him the other day for the podcast. What was he like? And what was he like? First of all, I've got another question. But...
He was a very pleasant individual. He was very respectful. He shook everyone's hand when he came in, introduced himself, asked who we were. I think he spoke with great conviction. I thought he was very honest. He was very matter of fact. He didn't butter it up in any way, shape, or form. I think he was upset that we didn't win the game, and quite rightly so. I think he was rather upset with the referee's performance, but it's all about the journey he was talking about, and we're going on a journey, and it was.
Gaz is in agreement there that decision was terrible.
I think well, Gaz, you're wrong anyway, because it was a penalty. But if you want to come on and discuss it, you can do. And if anyone who wants to come on this show and discuss why it was a penalty, let's have it, because the king of the laws is on the side of the referee for that decision, because it was a penalty. But as I was saying, Mickey Mellon, he was very, very good. You can tell he's a natural leader. You can tell him that but you can tell he's got that bit of a. Can I just glare in his eye? Do you think I wouldn't take any messing about?
No,
as well.
That's the kind of shares thing that I was referring to when I said he has that. He reminds me of him. Do you think that having dealt with the media and having dealt with fans or other clubs and expectations and all that was one of the differences between him and Unsworth? Do you think Unsworth, never really adapted in that same way to the media? He was always really nice to us, but he's. This just seems like someone who's a bit more polished and has been through it a bit more.
Do you want me to be honest with you? And I like David Unsworth as a person, but I always got the air of he knew better, and he knew better. And he probably did know better in terms of football, and he's an FA Cup winner and England cap. But he had that bit of a...
You mean like when you were asking the questions and stuff like that?
You just felt like it was just... I won't say arrogance, but it was overly assertive. I think.
Do you feel like you were walking on eggshells a little bit when you were asking questions?
No, I don't think that. I just felt that it was a bit. It felt a bit staged. I think he told me what I wanted to hear.
Yeah.
And then when they tried to get into the nitty gritty, he'd bite back a bit because he didn't want to answer that question.
Yeah.
Do you want to ask him about the losing mentality?
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? But I think he was protecting himself.
Yeah.
And I think he was protecting himself from letting his real personality out. Because
Yeah.
when I spoke to him on a level, he was a
Yeah.
completely different person.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Does that make
actually.
sense?
Yeah, it makes sense in terms
He was
of
guarded. He was very guarded.
Yeah. And so you don't feel that's from your one experience of Mickey Mellon, like you think that's different.
Yeah, I do, because I think there was no bravado there. I think he knew what he was talking about. He knew exactly what he watched the game. He was honest about the game. He was honest about the performance of the referee. He was honest about Altringham's display. He was honest about losing that first goal, saying it was poor. It was just, he was very candid, and that's what you want.
Jack, have you taken to Mickey Mellon a bit more easily than you took to David Unsworth? And a lot. I mean, maybe you like David Unsworth. I don't know. You tell us.
You know what, Mickey Mellon's honest. Like I watched him at the Fylde interview. He looked like a broken man. Like the way he was talking, he just looked disappointed in the players. He just looked absolutely fuming. So he's a nice man, and I understand him more. Like if you're talking to him, it seems like he'll tell you the truth and what you want to hear, sort of thing.
I think that's all. I think that's it. I think understanding. I know, probably most football fans want the same thing. Definitely at Oldham, we want to know that you've watched the same game as us. We don't want to be buttered up. We don't want to be, hang on a minute, that's not the game we watched. And yeah, you're right. After Fylde, it looked like he was like, got a lot of work to do here. And be fair enough, because it was bloody awful, wasn't it? But it was definitely a big improvement, wasn't it, Jack, on Saturday?
Jack?
Lost Jack.
Oh,
in it.
Tuning in.
What's going on there? Okay.
I think someone was like hacking Jack there.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, that's what was
right.
happening. Hey, but it don't matter because we've got another caller lined up.
This is normal Dave. Yeah.
Normal
Go on,
Dave.
Yeah, I'm
You're
sexy Dave.
Dave.
Yeah. You all right, Dave?
Evening, gentlemen. How are you?
Very well. How are you?
Good.
Have you called before, Dave?
No, first time, mate.
I thought so. Welcome to the show. Thanks for getting in touch.
Long time listener, first time caller.
yeah, sort of. Yeah. I just wanted to say, I was there on Saturday, and it's nice to see a little bit of green, some green shoots, isn't it? There were lots of things to be positive about on Saturday. Nothing major, but it was just nice to see us going forward. And some dodgy decisions. And I thought in the first sort of 15 minutes we'd opened them up 2 or 3 times. That Hallam Hope chance, I think that had gone in.
Oh yeah, goodness.
It's a different game, I think, at that point. And then we sort of went back into our shell a little bit. They had a bit of the ball, and then they got their goal, didn't they? And then Norwood and the right back linked up well, didn't they? And then we didn't do it again for ages. And it's just like, man, we've opened them up a few times by overlapping. And every time Devan got the ball, we'd just screaming for him to just go beyond again, And he just didn't, did he?
No.
And
I think for me, I was getting a bit frustrated because pinging the ball to him down the touchline is one thing, but he's got the pace where he should be able to. The ball should be through the channel between the centre half and the right back. And Green should be able to get round into that space behind him because he's got the pace, and then he's beyond the defender. He doesn't have to take him on. He can get into the box. They're laying it off for Norwood and scoring. They weren't trying to mix it up enough for me and play it on Green's strengths, because he is better when he's kind of like more in the box, more centrally, than when he's out wide trying to get balls in. But I think there's a lot of frustration for me personally looking at that team when you've got Green in there and he's not having a good game in terms of what we can do. We can't really change it. If we'd have gone narrow,
on Saturday.
Exactly. If he'd have taken him off and gone narrow, then I think we would have got really damaged, because they were hitting us down that side anyway. So we needed somebody on the right. So the only real person we could bring in would have been Reed, but then you're playing him out of position. So that it was a bit frustrating in being able to change it.
It was, I guess, positive at Devan Green. He didn't play well, but he carried on running, and he did. His head didn't drop, did he? And he was obviously having a shocker. And I sat in the main stand, and I had my little lad with me, and we live down south, so we only get to go to away games really when they're down here. But I took him up for half term, and we sat in the main stand, and it was definitely quiet in there. I've not sat in there before, and he was like, "Dad, can we go down that end where they're all singing?" But to be fair, you could hear the fans getting on an old guy down the bottom there, really get on Devan's back, and understandably he's frustrated, but he didn't let his head drop, and he did carry on running for the 90, didn't he? So
whereabouts down south are you from, mate?
I'm living down in Buckinghamshire, so just outside Amersham.
Oh, very nice, very nice.
Tory country, Dave. You'll like it down
Lib
there.
Dem country, innit?
Is
Lib
it?
Dem-
I
Is
think
Yeah, we
it?
got rid of him.
All right. Oh,
Well, that's
for
a
now.
shame.
Yeah.
He says drinking his wine in his
Yeah.
big house. I'm not joking. What do you think there's an issue with the squad depth then, Dave? Do you think we need more? Because I tried asking the question to Mickey Mellon, and he didn't answer the question. He said we'll assess and we'll look at things and we'll bring in things when
He answered the question without answering the question, though, didn't he? Not in so many words, kind of.
So I thought after he answered it, I was like, oh, thanks. I was like, you bastard.
Yeah, I mean, there isn't. Our squad's a bit of an enigma, isn't it? I mean, I think we've all been saying it all season. There's the right back issue, and there's somebody in midfield who can put the foot on the ball. But when you look at it on paper, it's bloody good. Like, there's some decent players in there. Just what's been going on till now. And I think I had no opinion on Mickey Mellon. I didn't like the Tranmere link, but I didn't have an opinion. I've been away from sort of watching football for ages, and only got into it over the last sort of season or two. And my lad sort of wanted to support a team, and I don't know. He fills me with a bit of confidence. He seems to know what he's doing. On Saturday, he was on the touch side. He was coaching. And he was shouting instructions, and he was communicating to his players, and he was being positive and all that sort of stuff. And I didn't see that from Unsworth. He sort of sat, didn't he, on his arse in the under the tin roof. And yeah, I mean, it's a difficult one. I think it's great to have Fan McGay. I thought he had a good game. He's played centre half, didn't he, on Saturday, and he had a good game the week before. It's one of those wait and see things, isn't it? I think there's going to be some players moving on, hopefully, because I think we're a little bit unbalanced. And I think I put a little bit of a tweet out earlier on the weekend. We just need some leaders, though. A bit of grit, a bit of steel, and yeah, Norwood shows that from time to time. But he also has that petulant look about him, doesn't he? And that's a worry. I don't know if he is petulant. I don't know. But
yeah, he has. For me, he has the body language. Do you know when Rooney used to play up top and then he had to come deep to get the ball because he was getting that annoyed he weren't getting the ball? He reminds me of that sort of player that comes deeper when he don't get it. The arms start flapping, and when he scores, he's frustrated because he looks like a very frustrated character. But I think some of the grief he's getting when he scored 7 goals is undeserved. He works his nuts off.
I think he came here to be in a winning team, to be in a winning winning club, and I think it frustrates him when he's not. I think the other players in his team need to start meeting the sort of standards that I think he's. But look, it's up to him to try and drag them through. I think there are some leaders on there. I think Nathan Sherrin's a leader. I was watching him on Saturday.
Yes,
he was pointing, motivating. He's that voice in central midfield. You know what? He's actually becoming a really important player for us this season anyway, whether he's obviously signed an extension to his deal. So I mean, you were saying
I've always been a fan, and I've always been slated for it, but
he's now when he started off, he was playing at centre half, wasn't he? And
he went to right back.
But now that Josh Lundstrom's in there, and look, Josh Lundstrom's not back up to full form. I don't think he was out for a long time. He's got to get up to speed with it. But I think that the two of them could be quite a good combination. But we spoke about it on the podcast on the Saturday and Andy said about the Rochdale Stephen Ayres, is it?
Steve Ayres
was saying about 4-4-2 is too easy to get through and all that. We'll have to see what Mellon wants to do with the squad, because managers don't seem to want to play a 4-4-2, do they? I think that holding midfield player is probably a McGahey in that role. We'll probably see more of that. But we've got to be careful about being too narrow as well. It's interesting.
What are your thoughts on the FA Cup game, Dave?
My missus is Welsh, so bit of a friction here. But I think if we go there and be positive, I think we've got a good chance. I've been to a few of the, like I said, I've got the away games when they're down here, and when we start off positive, we do cause teams some trouble. And Newport are nothing special, but they can be solid, can't they? I don't know.
It's either going to be a really dour FA Cup tie, isn't it? It's going, or it's going to be It's going to be a bit,
when that storm's past through and the ground's piss wet through on Saturday, and anything could happen, I guess. But
it might be off because it's that picture there. So I know the Scarlets play on it, but it's not the best.
No.
Yeah, well, we'll see, won't we? We'll see what happens, but I don't know.
Well, what score, Dave? Come on, what do you think?
2-1. I reckon we'll go and get a 2-1.
Oh, you see.
I'll take it.
I'll take
Yeah, I
it.
love that.
I'll take that
Yeah.
right now. Give it me.
Yeah, we were just saying before, weren't we, about which game we'd like in the third round.
Yeah. But let's not go
Oh
there.
man,
So,
that's, yeah. Kiss of death on it, that, isn't it?
No, I know, but we're allowed to dream, aren't we? Dream now before we get knocked out. You can't dream after you've been knocked out. You have to dream
That's true.
beforehand, don't you? So, hey, we've actually got some more callers to get through now, Dave.
Oh,
so,
great. Get to them then.
Thanks for getting
Cheers,
in touch,
mate.
mate. Call
Yeah.
again.
See you later.
Cheers, gents. Thank you very much.
mate.
Bye-bye.
Bye. You requested a call from the Lord.
I did, yeah.
Here he
The
is.
Lord.
It's not John
Gareth.
Sheridan.
How's it going,
It's Gaz
fellas?
Lord. All right,
It's
mate.
Gareth. Gaz.
How we doing? You all right?
Yeah, you were wrong about the decision on the penalty, mate.
Go on then, Dave. Let's hear it. Because on National League, they said it was given for an handball.
Yeah, that's what it was given for.
It definitely is.
All right.
Whoop.
Oh,
We're not- we're- you
Oh,
don't
well,
seem to have
I stand corrected. And I didn't think it did.
No, it did. Where I was in the Rochdale Road end, you could see it clearly at his arm. The thing was, is the referee did not waste a second. He blew the whistle straight away. It was really actually hard to tell in the moment whether he'd done it intentionally or not. I didn't think he had done it intentionally, but I think he definitely, it helped him gain control of the ball, I would say.
Do you know what IFAB's stance on it?
Go on.
This is IFAB. Do not
What's
shoot.
that? What is IFAB?
IFAB.
Yeah. Isn't that what you just said?
Yeah.
Well, what is it?
IFAB.
What's it stand for?
IFAB. It's the International Football.
You don't even know. You're quoting IFAB and you don't even know what it is.
All right, just one minute. I'm trying to get it right. The International Football.
How can you be king of the laws?
I know,
and
yeah.
not
I'm just trying to
what
get
IFAB is.
just bear with me one
Is this
second.
who sets the rules?
Yes, it's IFAB, yeah.
For
God's sake, I'm trying to find it. 1 second.
it says it there.
It doesn't. It just
It
says
is.
IFAB.
Yeah.
But it's the International
International
Football
Football
Association
Football
body.
and just the Football Association business.
Yeah.
Just read,
Anyway,
just read the rules.
well,
You've lost it now. You're flustered, you
It's
know.
fine,
aren't
it's fine. Yeah, you've thrown me. Yeah, so a player, it is an offence if
Right.
a player touches the ball with the hand or arm when it has made their body unnaturally bigger, which it did with Hallam Hope. A player is considered to have made their body unnaturally bigger when the position of their hand/arm is not a consequence or justifiable by the player's body movement for that specific situation. So let me explain. He slid. He went to slide and tackled,
Yeah.
but his arm went down. His body was bigger because his arm was on the floor. His hand on the floor touched the ball, which is then his body being bigger unnaturally, and he's gained an advantage.
Hang on.
Yeah?
He fell over, right?
No, he didn't. He slid.
He
went
slid. So he slipped,
slid.
right?
He slid. He went to slide tackle
He went
the
to
player
slide tackle, slipped.
by
His
having their arm.
His
Just
arm was near his body.
Just wait. By having their hand/arm in such a position, the player takes a risk of their hand or arm being hit by the ball, which it did, and being penalised. That is why the offence was.
No, I'm not having that. I'm not. It wasn't a penalty, guys.
We'll speak to IFA.
He
Yeah,
did it.
I still think it was. It's harsh, isn't it? It's very harsh either way.
Definitely his arm or his hand, but I don't think it was an unnatural position because he slipped.
The
he
International
slid
Football Association Board /IFAB
in. Yeah.
say that's the case, and they write the laws, which I am king of. So if you don't like it, don't watch football.
Oh, is it all right?
Yeah.
Is that the
That's-
guidance from IFAB? Is
Yeah,
it?
if you don't like it, Matt Dean, don't watch. No, I'm joking. No, but that's the law. That's the law. I'm not saying I agree with it, but I just follow it. You know,
But it did. It used
Yeah.
to be. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I've
Here
had
we
enough
go.
of him.
he's going to
It
talk
was
about accidental
on
or
ball.
deliberate.
Yeah, if it was
Yeah.
surely if it was accidental or deliberate, that was the rule, wasn't it?
It's a
Yeah, that's the
law.
way you look at it, wasn't it?
It's a law, not a rule. A rule draws lines.
A law then.
Yes, thank you.
So, yeah.
Well, I stand corrected, Dave.
It's all right. Don't worry. The thing is, right, I'm going to say this now to every Oldham fan or football fan. The problem is, if you're not a referee, yeah, and you haven't refereed a game of football, you don't know the laws of the game because you haven't passed the refereeing exam. So you just think you know the laws, and then you start making loads of laws up in your head because you think it's an unconditional bias.
Well, can I just say though
bias,
that
isn't
it
it, that
used to be the laws of the game used to be pretty simple, and they didn't used to be so many of them, and
No.
so it was easy to know all the laws. Then they change all the time.
And do you know why? Because players cheat and managers cheat to bend the laws to suit or reflect to win.
Right. So it should be easier
And
to
that's
keep
why
the
they do.
laws simple. Plus, I mean, how was that written? You were reading that to me, and I'm like, what?
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's written complete gobbledygook.
It's speak to IFAB.
I'm going to. Can we get IFAB on the show next week, Dave?
I can get. Do you want me to get an IFAB?
Get somebody who makes these decisions. Right.
Well, David Ellery is part of IFAB.
Get David Ellery on.
Oh, goodness me. I don't know. Might be the end of my refereeing career, but
You've got one of you since the ref review.
Yeah, true. No, but what did you think of the game then against Altrincham Gaz?
Yeah, do you know, we were the better team. It's probably the best we've seen on this season, to be fair, in my opinion. You know, they did dig in. I think position-wise, we had a proper right back in there, didn't we? Link-up play was decent between a few players. That's probably a decent game, to be fair.
Yeah, I think it was an unspectacular performance. What I think in some respects, wasn't it? I think we kept them. Yeah, we sort of kept them out for most of the game. A lot. We had better possession. I don't think we were mega inside. You know, created loads of chances, not as dangerous as maybe we could have been or would have liked to have been. But it was. I mean, when you compare it to Tuesday night, it was significantly better. Yeah,
I was just going to say that compared to Tuesday, there's a massive difference, isn't there?
Yeah. What do you think about Newport then, mate? Do you think we'll get a result there?
They're nothing special, like Dave said. I had to agree with what Dave said. He said they're nothing special, and they're not. So I think we've just got to go for it, haven't we? And if not, then concentrate on the league. But I'd like to see us win, and I think that it's doable, to be fair.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you're right, mate.
Yeah. All right, it's Tom waiting to come in, so I'll let Tom come in.
He's coming in, mate. But thanks for joining us. I hope you're feeling better, mate, as well. Yeah.
I am a lot better, mate, and I'm hoping to see you both soon.
Yeah, excellent. See
you
soon, mate.
So catch you soon, lads. Bye.
Cheers, mate. Take care.
Yeah, let's bring Tom in. Good link, that. Thanks for the link there, guys. Getting.
Just do the Chava.
Are you right, lads?
Yeah.
All right.
Chava's in the chat.
Oh, big Chava.
There you go. You see.
There's a Chava.
That's what it's about, you see.
All right.
He's not too well, to be fair, but is he?
Oh, well, I hope he feels better soon. What did you think about Saturday then, mate?
You know what? I was actually buzzing. I think Altrincham are a decent team and are going to definitely be top half, if not playoffs. You know, as a minimum. And I think we outplayed them in a lot of areas. I was glad to hear then. I come on just as you were talking about the penalty decision. I was on the same side as Gaz, you know. I thought it was a joke of a decision, but listening to it a bit more, it sounds like he probably got it spot on. I think he was just a bit eager to put the whistle in his mouth because even their players looked like they didn't have a bloody clue, did they? What he'd give at one point.
Well, yeah, I mean, I very rarely you see a decision that quick. He didn't stop to think about it at all, did he? He was like, and their players didn't seem bothered in the slightest, did they?
No, I know. It was one of those that I think that if you go in to see the assessor, now I'm only assuming the assessor would have said, I know why you give it, but no one appeal for it.
Yeah.
I want to give it because it'll probably because he lost control of the game for a long period after that because he started making it all about him because he tried to get hold of the game and he made his own issues in that game.
Yeah,
a lot. Do you know what I mean? And I think his otherwise rounded performance was very, very poor. I thought it was very poor. Some of the decisions he made. I also think that James Norwood should have been sent off for a stud showing.
Sugar, yeah.
Did you see that? Yeah. It was a red card. That.
I thought he was going.
And how we got a yellow card for that is I don't know.
And,
do you know what I mean? I would have read it because it was a really bad one right near, near just outside the area, weren't it? And he prop 2-footed him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Maybe call me old-fashioned, but that was just a booking, surely. I mean, he's like...
All right, Jack Charlton.
Yeah.
Norman Hunter here next to me. Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, he's like, his feet were high, weren't they? But it wasn't what you would call a leg breaker. It wasn't like he was... It didn't seem like he was out of control.
He'd lost control.
Yeah, he did.
Like he knew what he was
Matt
doing.
Chopper Dean.
He knew what he was doing. No, yeah,
What,
but yeah, you're walking a tightrope, aren't you, with challenges like that?
Oh, definitely.
Something I was sort of interested in. I won't lie, joined this a bit late tonight, but I'm still a bit unsure on what our best sort of partnership is up front. If it's even a partnership, or is it Norwood on his own, which I don't personally like. But I just think that's a big thing we need to find out sooner rather than later, because there's been that many different ones tried and not really any that have took off. I don't know what you lads think.
I think we need to see more of Fondup and Norwood up front. Fondup, definitely. Hi, Mrs. Fondup to be, who's watching. But yeah, definitely. I think he's busier. I think he tries harder. I think Reed did well when he came on. Nuttall was absolute pawny on Saturday. He was poor. He wasn't the best. He looked like he'd lost a tenner and found a penny. Just weren't interested. But he did set the pass off for the first goal. Yeah. But other than that, he didn't do much.
There was a lot of hard work to do after that, though. Wanted to score the goal.
It was Lundstrom who set that up with with the back heel and then Norwood and Freeman. But I just think his last touch, he sent them through on goal, didn't he? You know, when he cleared it.
When he just.
Do you remember? I think they subbed him after that. But I want to see more of Fondup. I know he's not the best technically, but God, does he try hard? And I think he's not had a run. He's not had a run.
You know what it is? The thing is with the strikers that we've got, I'm not sure we have a combination that you play for 90 minutes. For me, you've got like Fondup's an impact. When you bring him on in a certain game, he comes on and makes an impact. I don't think he plays like he plays consistently for 90 minutes every week, and he doesn't get the amount of goals. Alex Reed is the same. He's like he's capable of having an impact on a game. So I'm not too sure. Like
Willoughby needs a chance as well, doesn't he?
Well, yeah. So I'm not. Not all's not done enough. So I think, and the other thing is the question of the midfield. So like, because I was thinking about this in terms of formation. If we want to play that holding midfielder, if we're getting cut through too easily, so do we like 4 at the back, holding midfielder, 3 across there possibly, and then a 2 up top, maybe, rather than playing with wingers. We might be a bit narrow, but if you've got someone like McGahey who can cover,
we've only got one player with pace on the wing anyway in Green. So
I think we need to sort of look at changing.
And then if we go behind, we can bring it into a 4-4-2 and bring Green on and another attacker.
So I think we need to sort of look at that. So for me at the minute, I'm thinking of a 4-1-3-2 formation possibly. But again, like with the types of midfielders we've got, Shelton, Lundstrom, and then one of Ward and Dickinson in there as the 3. Yeah, it's.
Do you know who I thought again? He was outstanding, and he just it shouldn't be the case. But you centre back, I thought Sean Hobson was absolutely superb.
Yeah.
He's been so good. I can see him going in. Unfortunately, I can see him going in January.
Me too.
Someone's going to snap him right up, but he's such a good player.
Yeah,
just going to have to take umbrage with this point. Chris Porter would have been perfect for Norwood if he'd stayed on. Mr. Trick there. No, if he'd have been 10 years younger, maybe. But he was absolutely wrecked, wasn't he?
He took a penalty and then got a blood. I shouldn't like got a blood clot, did he?
Yeah, no, he's at the end of his career, unfortunately. I don't think we missed a trick. I think we just needed to get rid there. But what you're saying is the type of player is that would complement Norwood, and I think there's definitely some. Look, I think Mickey Mellon is the man responsible now, isn't he, for going through all this, and he's got to try his different formations and his combinations, and he's got to see what works. And I think we have to have we have to have that. We mentioned it on the pod. We've got to have a plan A and a plan B.
Yeah,
we need to stop forgetting. That's a great point. We need to stop forgetting Gardner. We
don't forget he's injured.
He's just not reliable, is it? I mean, not that I totally agree.
If he was reliable, he wouldn't be playing for Oldham.
If he's physically reliable, we're not saying he's unreliable, but it's his fitness, isn't it?
Yeah. If he was fit, he wouldn't be playing for Oldham. He wouldn't be playing for Oldham. He'd be in the league, wouldn't he? He'd be playing for
come in and have a top
Barrow or something like that.
And then he's out again for next 3. You can't plan around Gardner, I don't think.
No, I mean, if he's fit, you put him in the team 100%. Like
100%,
he's
you build around him,
top
wouldn't you?
footballer.
I want to
for
see the
level,
waffle monster, Dan Ward.
Mm.
You know what I mean? I want to give him a chance.
Yeah,
Because
definitely.
he hopefully can get. And he has said he'll come on the show as well. So
Oh, good,
Waffle
that'll-
Ward, we'll hopefully
Waffle with Ward.
a lot of waffle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, definitely. So what score on Saturday then, mate?
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not even gonna try and pretend I know much about Newport because I don't now this day and age. To be honest, I think similar to what sort of we've all said together tonight is just go and have a go. Like I think that's all we can ask for. Go and have a go.
Yeah.
Don't go and try and play for a draw or a 1-0. Just go and have a go at them. And worst case, they turn us over. You know, it is what it is. Let's
It's a
focus
free
on
hit.
food.
If we show a bit of
Absolutely.
gumption and get yeah, why not?
Yeah, but definitely.
It's
What do you
the
think?
FA
What
Cup
score?
generally. Oh yeah, go on.
What
What
score,
score, mate?
50-0.
Oh,
Well.
I don't think we'll lose by that many.
Right, lads.
Yeah.
I'm gonna shoot
Cheers,
you guys.
guys.
In that,
Cheers,
yeah?
mate. Get
Thanks.
well
Cheers,
soon.
mate.
Bye
See you,
bye.
mate.
See ya.
See you.
The thing is with the FA Cup, I always think, especially at this kind of stage in it, it's really about who wants it more, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not about form. It's not about form. It's not about skill and that as such. It's about desire at this stage in the season.
It's will versus skill.
Ooh, I bet skill won't go amiss. Should we bring Dan in? Dan. Hello. Yeah, good.
Yeah,
How are
you?
you?
Yeah, not bad. I normally watch most weeks. I don't normally bother joining, but just to your point earlier about the penalty on Saturday, I think
There we go.
I were the only one who at the time thought, what the hell is he giving here? But what winds me up, and I think we know the referees in this league are shit, is I think
So what you say, Roy?
5 or 10 minutes earlier, there was one in their half and the ball's come down and the centre half's practically caught it.
Yeah.
Side where the lino was. And it's like, how can you not see it? If people in the stand can see it, how can they not see it? But to then give that, the hope one, I just, I don't know. What do you think, Dave? I just don't think.
It was a penalty. To the letter of law, it was a penalty.
I don't know how you can take it from that description to what happened on Saturday. I don't know how you can say it was a penalty.
Honestly, believe me, I'm going to put some clips up of similar offences, like where defenders have slid and then their arm's been trailing and the ball hits them.
His arm wasn't trailing though; it was
But
by his body.
But it wasn't. It made his arm unnaturally big.
No, it was by his body.
Right. I'm not arguing with you.
Here you are.
Well, what was given on the day?
Penalty.
Right, because it was a
handball.
Yes,
he did it. His hand.
Thank you.
I'm not denying it.
I'm not.
But I'm not saying he didn't have his arm out. It wasn't. He didn't extend his body size. His hand was by his side.
Yeah, but if you look at the law, it says if your arm is in a position that makes your body unnaturally.
It wasn't
bigger.
unnatural though, because he was on the
Right.
ground. He'd
Right.
fallen over. If you fall over, like you fall over, don't you? I mean, what's
Yeah,
a
but
natural
what's
position when you
falling-
fall? You don't fall over like this, do you?
No, but that's what they expect under law. That's what they expect you to do. That's
just stupid law, then,
well.
isn't it?
Speak to IFAB.
You get David Ellery on this.
I will.
bloody
I'll
podcast
do my
and then We'll
best.
have a chat to him.
I'll do my best.
I wonder what Mark White would
It
have
was a
made.
penalty. It
But
was a
it was a
penalty.
penalty. He scored it.
Another couple of
penalty.
points I wanted to ask you, Dave, because you've done the exam then and you know more than everyone else on this.
Well,
Well, he's the king of the laws, yeah.
No,
well,
I'm not taking the mic.
I know. I was waiting for that. I was waiting for the.
There was one in the second half when we had a throw in and Kitchen. I think the referee blew because he was time wasted. But then the referees put his arm out and signalled that the ball was then theirs.
Yeah.
So, but then he's let us take the throw in again.
Because I think I saw that and I was like, I'm going to. But it was because the player. It's because the Altrincham player, I think, gave him some dissent about it, so he reversed the decision again. So he gave the decision. He can reverse it for dissent, and it went to the other way.
Can you reverse a decision for dissent? Any decision?
You can give an indirect, but he's asked to restart play. The ball was out of place, so he's restarted with the flooring back to our possession.
Yeah,
He should have restarted. He should have restarted with an indirect free kick, but I think he just
because Kitchen didn't even.
he lost control. Yeah, the ball didn't go into play. The ball didn't.
And another one I want to ask is, and I don't know if this is me being stupid, but me and my dad say this every game, and Fondop does it every time, and Norwood has started doing it. When we get goal kicks from the edge of the 6-yard box, he's always 10 or 15 yards offside or in an offside position. Can you be offside from a goal kick?
Bear with me.
Because if you watch, because we sit in the Joe Royal stand on the halfway, so you get a good view of it. Every time we get a goal kick, our strikers are offside by quite some distance, and even when normally the keeper.
Yeah, you can't be offside from a goal
They
kick.
changed that law, didn't they, recently?
It was.
I think that's what it was.
Basically, what they did was before when an offside decision was given, a few years ago, they classed that as the similar law. Nearly said rule that you couldn't be offside from that as well, an indirect free kick from the offside. But then they reverted it back just to goal kick, and it threw a lot of officials back in the day. I need
to show this.
You cannot be offside from
Dave
a goal kick, a throw in, a corner kick.
I need to Dave. Mid-table mediocrity is a qualified referee too, and what you just said made no sense at all. So listen,
on the pod.
We need a ref off, don't we?
Well,
we need you and another ref to have a debate
about
on this.
Do
mid-table mediocrity. Eminem.
Yeah, Eminem.
Come on, Eminem.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, fine.
Can you have a wrap? What do they call it when you have a wrap off about refereeing? A crap rap about
a ref
refereeing.
rap.
A ref rap.
A ref rap.
Yeah.
A ref rap off.
Okay. Yeah. So there we go. But yeah, I don't know.
The thing is, though, as I say, I think with the dissent now being so, the tolerance levels have really reduced, and I think that they're trying to make it into a bit more like rugby, where you've got no dissent. They tried the 10-yard. Moving forward in like the 2000s, when you used to give dissent and you moved the ball 10 yards forward like rugby, that didn't work. But I think now they're just booking players because they do at grassroots level. It's a sin bin. They're putting a sin bin.
Well, Mark was telling us about that when Mark White was saying about how that was just a nightmare
for a grassroots referee to try and manage that on a weekend. On a weekend, is an absolute nightmare and then if you give a player a yellow card, a sin bin, and they get another sin bin, then they can go off because they've had 2 sin bins and they can be replaced. But if they get a yellow card for an offence on the pitch, like say a free kick, then they get a sin bin and a sin bin, they can go off, but they cannot be replaced. Honestly, it's really...
It's not making life any easier.
It's not easy. And imagine you're a guy on Clough End with, 2 teams who are quite unforgiving, with linesmen who are 2 subs like scratching their asses from the night before, all hungover, and you've got to do your sin bins, your subs, your offsides on your own. It's just unmanageable.
Well, because you've got to make sure you've got to bring people back on at the right time and all that as well.
It's hard enough at the best of times. They're never going to manage that.
It's hard, yeah, and also you've got to manage people's television. And since COVID, the abuse levels have gone through the roof. And stupid people on Twitter promote the abuse of referees, and I'm always been anti that. Don't get me wrong. I thought some of his decisions were bad, but the abuse levels now are just through the roof, and they cannot get enough referees because of the levels of abuse.
Just to say that if anyone abused you on the pitch, they'd get lamped, wouldn't they?
No, because no, you've got to keep self-control, because if you say you've got 22 players and you lamp one of the players, it's firstly you get banned. It's classed as an assault. You're responsible for the safety of the players. How does that look if a referee?
You say that nowadays.
No, but it's not.
Yeah,
it's not nice.
It's not. But
people see that. They go, the referee will let you back.
No, it's out of order. It's out of order. I mean, they're giving up the time to make the game happen, because it can't happen without a referee.
No ref, no game.
Exactly. No, it's bang out of order. But it's set at the top level. But it's like closing the stable door after the horse is bolted, isn't it? This stuff should have been. It's become cultural in the game now. All the cheating and all the shithousery and all that kind of stuff, and the mouthing off and the diving and all this kind of stuff. It's just part of the game, and it's because it's been happening for decades. And they haven't dealt with it, and now they try to deal with it all at once, and it's just too late. So,
well, it's stemmed from Italian football, because they call the referee the venduti, which is like the bought bastard. That's what they say. Who's been bought off. So that's what it's like. Yeah.
That's I know. But I mean, look, you've always had teams, haven't you, going back? Like Uruguay, they've always been like that. Argentina, going back.
Careful.
No, but they've always had the aggressive, cheating teams that have a culture of it. You know what I mean?
They tried to bend the laws, didn't they?
Bend the laws, yeah.
So, anyway, what did you think of the performance, Dan? Well, match ranting.
I don't think it was great, but I don't think it was the worst either. I think if you compare it to Tuesday night last week, I mean, they weren't going to get any worse than that, were they? But it was a point, so it was better than nothing. I still, to the guy's point earlier, I think we don't know what our best setup is. I think Norwood is by far and away our best player, both technically and mentally, because no one's on the same wavelength as him. I don't think he makes runs off the ball, and no one seems to be able to pick him out. And I think until we've got decent wingers, or we're playing him with another striker who can provide for him, I don't think we're going to see the best of him.
Yeah, I think when he's playing with a bit of confidence, when he's enjoying the game, you can see his technical ability is above the other players. When he gets frustrated, he starts making sloppy mistakes because of his frustration, I think, and it frustrates the hell out of him sometimes that the other players aren't on his wavelength, doesn't it? Definitely.
Yeah, look, I think Dave was spot on with his comparison to Rooney. I think he has got that bit of bite about him, and I do like that, because I think the last couple of years we've not had anyone who has a bit of sort of shithousery about him. And like he was having a bit of beef on Saturday with their number 6. And the referee at one point, I think, might have pulled them both together and had a word, and it carried on. And I'm thinking, do you know what? We want someone like that leading from the front. I think he took the armband on Tuesday night when Hogan went off. So as long as he can keep his head, I like that about him. Do you know what I mean? I want someone who's going to get stuck in. I think there was an incident last year when someone got sent off. I think was it Kitchen, or there was like a coming together. And I think our player was in the wrong, and like no one ran over and supported him or their team. And I feel like if that happened now, Norwood would be the first one in there.
You kind of like, is that, that kind of in terms of kind of similar centre forwards we've had over the years, where like goal scorers of a physical stature and that kind of attitude, like Lee Hughes and Luke Beckett, like players like that lead the line with that kind of aggression.
Luke Beckett was aggressive,
like get stuck. Oh, you lost him there for a second. Like getting stuck in, and and I think having that kind of centre forward, that kind of aggressive centre forward, that leader, and we've been talking about it for many times. Mickey Mellon was very complimentary of Matthew Hudson, and having that spine down the centre of the pitch. Sharon is becoming that player in the Hobson at the back and Hogan, and then not all the front. There is a spine starting to develop now in the team, but we've still got to make up for it in some other positions around the field.
Yeah, I think Sharon's got a bit of that about him as well.
Yeah, definitely.
I think now that he's almost like when I'm not going to dwell on it because I'm not Shelton's biggest fan, but now that he's sort of been released from that Shelton and Sharon partnership, and he seems like a different player. And again, another thing I like about him is the fact that he does get stuck in, because again, we've not had any spine, I don't think, in the last couple of years, and anyone in the middle of the park getting stuck. Don't get me wrong, I don't think he's the best footballer, but he's putting himself about and he's getting stuck in, and he's getting goals here and there as well.
There was an example at Fylde, I'll tell you, I mentioned it last week, that Shelton backed out of a tackle and did let his teammates down, and the next tackle was from Nathan Sharon, and he absolutely went right through the line. And it was, I tell you, it was an example. It was like, this is how you tackle, mate. This is how you do it. This is how, in midfield, in a game like this, you get stuck in. And it was a total example. It was so obvious that that's what he was doing to Shelton. Said, this is how we tackle, mate. And that's what he does. He leads by example, and he organises.
He's tough. He's a tough.
Yeah, he's a tough player. But I think he's technically, as a footballer, he's not.
Can't pass for toffee, though, can he?
He's a close up type of player. He needs to win the ball and lay it off, and that kind of. He's not going to
ping. He's not going to ping.
But if you've got people around him like McGahey, like Lundstrom, who can pick up the ball,
McGahey can pass the ball.
Then
McGahey's a good, McGahey just in front of the defence, pass it back or pass it to Lundstrom, and he can just do all the mopping up, because Duck's become pass it for toffee, could he really? He used to lay it off to Sheridan. He used to.
Yeah, well, that's what it's all about, isn't it? Combinations, isn't it? Right, listen, Dan, we'll move on to next caller, but thanks for getting in touch, pal.
Oh, no worries.
Hang on, before you go, what score Saturday?
1-0, 2-1. I think I'd like to think we'll go and give him a game and get some out of it, but I don't think it'll be pretty. So I'd say 1-0.
Take it. Cheers, mate.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers, fellas.
All again. See you, Dan.
Thanks for calling, mate.
Oh, Dave, how did your scouting trip to Turkey go? Did you find anyone special to add to our spine?
That's none of your business, mate.
Okay.
No, it's fine, but I wasn't scouting. I was drinking and eating.
Aaron.
Evening.
You all right?
Yeah.
Unexpected there. You've got a halo.
Yeah. Sorry, mate.
Turn your TV down in background, mate.
Oh, it's totally done for us.
Yeah.
Well, that's it.
Are you not watching? Are you not watching United get beat?
I certainly am.
Excellent. Yeah, they're
Loving
losing
it.
2-0 at half time, aren't
Loving
they?
it. Yeah.
So you were on
Somebody's
you were on last week with your Shelton and Sharon stat, which was good. What have you got for us this week?
Well, Sharon was masterclass, wasn't he, on Saturday? He had a great performance. I think that is massively underrated. He scored 2 goals in 3 games, breaks the play up well. Like you say, he doesn't ping it about, but if he could do everything that he does and ping it about, he'd be playing higher up in the leagues.
Yeah.
What I wanted to talk about really was, you made a point on the podcast this week about being ready for promotion and getting to the next level. For me, it was right. Like, how many players in this squad would cut it in League Two? And when you do want to get promoted, obviously we'd love to go up this year. You're not going to say no to it. But when you do want to get promoted, you've got to have players in your squad that can already take it to the next level. And if you look at our squad now, how many of them would cut it in the next level? I totally disagree with Dave about Fondop. I think is nowhere near good enough. I think is a liability in the team.
Oh, even more than Nuttall.
Yeah, I think I think the first goal we scored on Saturday, if you watch it back, that stems from Nuttall putting a tackle in. I think Lundstrom gets it then. But if Nuttall don't track back and put that tackle in, we don't score. To be totally honest with you, I don't rate any of them. I just slightly rate Nuttall more than Fondop.
I think Fondop charged really. I think his endeavour, his work rate, his physicality is a lot more.
How many goals has Joe Nuttall scored since he come to Latics?
Is it about 6?
It's not many, is it? And I think like as a forward player, you have to have other elements to your game, of course, but we need people to come on and score goals. Now, Fondop will score you goals. He scored more goals than Joe Nuttall, and ultimately, like if you're playing one of those 2 guys as a foil for Norwood, they've got to be able to chip in and score some goals. And Fondop will score spectacular goals and whatnot as well.
No, so scored 8, Joe Nuttall.
He's unpredictable. They're not consistent at this level. I think that's what you get. Consistency is the thing.
Since he's joined, I think he was
since Nuttall joined. So since they've both been there together.
Oh, you're the one who's supposed to be coming on with these stats prepared now, really. You're letting us down here, mate. In terms of like, while Dave's doing that, I think in terms of like, no one's saying that we're not ready to go up. We're ready to go up.
Yeah,
in terms of we want to go up as a club and as a fan base. We're ready for it. We want it to happen this season. Of course we do.
Yeah.
But I think the point that we were making on the podcast and the point that we were talking about was that it's all about momentum. And I think that like the clubs that are doing really well in League Two now that have come up from the National League have been building that momentum, and they've been building it with off the back of failure as well. Not failure, because I think, if you get to the playoffs, so you finish second and you don't make it, you're not failed. It's just not gone your way. But they built that momentum, they built the squads, they built the camaraderie, the character, the team. It's all started to go in the right direction. So that once they got into League Two, that momentum carries on. At the moment, with if we do go up this season, we won't quite have that momentum. I don't think. I think it will be an exceptional achievement for us to then, be anywhere near the playoffs, and it will take a few more seasons to start building that up in League Two. Yeah. It'd be nice if we could get.
We'd have to heavily invest, wouldn't we? If we went up this season, we'd have to heavily invest. Where ideally, what you want to do is you want to go up and just have maybe 1 or 2 positions that you need to upgrade a little bit, if you like.
But financially, it would be brilliant to go up as well. We want to go up. I think really the conversation is more about emulating the teams that have gone on to do what they're doing now. You want to go
up to start to fly back up to League One, really. You don't want to go up and have to spend 3 or 4 years in League Two and then.
I'd rather spend 3 or 4 years in League Two than 3 or 4 years down here, though, as well. On the flip side, do you know what I mean? So I think
7, but not all of his 8. I think 2 of them are penalties. So Fondop, that's 7 for when Fondop scored. So Fondop scored 12 for Latics. But since Joe Nuttall joined last season, he scored the hat-trick. He scored a few more. But in open play, I think Nuttall scored 5 or 6.
So they've actually not that different.
It's similar,
really.
isn't it?
It's
And I
similar,
agree with what you're saying about
Fondop scored more before Nuttall came as well.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I agree with what you're saying about Fondop, but I'd only agree with it to the extent of I don't mind it when we're 1-1 somewhere and we're trying to get a winner, or we're a goal behind and he gets chucked on for 20 minutes. I don't mind that at all.
Well, they brought Nuttall on against Maidstone at Maidenhead at home. And I thought he really let Thompson down because he didn't even run for the ball when he came on. He was really poor.
He's one of those players, isn't he?
He's got heart, he's got pride, he's got passion. I don't think Nuttall's got that. I don't think personally. I think Nuttall sulks if he doesn't start, or if he comes on as a sub. He's not that sort of player. At least Reed gives a go. Nuttall gives a go. Even Willoughby starts chasing down the balls when he comes on. But I don't think Nuttall's got that in him. If I'm honest with you, I think he's a bit of a sulker, a bit of a tart. If I'm honest.
But when he scored the other week as well, and he ran to the Rochdale Road end, like he kind of like let a lot of that out. And I think a lot of the time, maybe I'm being harsh on Fondop, but I don't think I am. But I think we need to have a run of a settled squad, don't we? Maybe give a pairing a 3 or 4 games with a consistent pairing and see what happens there.
If anyone in the comments just put Fondop or Nuttall just for the next couple of minutes, and let's see what we get. Because are you team Fondop or team Nuttall, or are you just team Oldham, for goodness sake? But what are you thinking for Saturday? Do you think it's a free hit?
It's definitely a free hit, but I think we'll do them. I said on the podcast that I wasn't bothered about the FA Cup, and then I went to Altrincham, and it feels meant, doesn't it, the FA Cup, when you're there at the game and you get that FA Cup fever. And like now, I think I said, I'm not bothered if we go out at Altrincham. But now I'd be gutted if we went out on Saturday. But I think we'll win. I think we'll win.
Yeah, we were doing our predictions before, weren't we? You went with
3. I went with 3-1.
Yeah, I went 2-2. I think it's going to be a draw. I think we'll get them back to Boundary Park.
I think we'll keep a clean sheet and win 2-0.
Ooh, are you going?
I love it. I love the optimism of a Latics fan. I really do. We've shipped 8 goals in the last.
Sure, when we were getting relegated, I'm like, we'll be fine. We'll be fine.
Stay off Twitter at 5 o'clock on Saturday then.
Yeah. Well, if John Braball's got out to do it, we're ringing me up to do a Spaces, won't he? Do a Spaces. But yeah. Space. Oh, that's space.
Yeah. Right, nice one. You go back to
look at the comments. It's all Fondop, mate.
It's all Fondop.
Yeah, well, it doesn't mean that you're right, mate.
No, I didn't say I was right. I just said my preference is Fondop. I didn't say you were wrong. That's why we do this phoning. So it's all about loving each other.
Well, I tell you what, then, Dave.
There's one thing that is right. That was the referee's decision to give a penalty for Altrincham.
I couldn't see it properly on the stream, but
go on. What were you going to say?
I'll tell you what, then. If you want, we can have a little wager on who's going to bag the most if they're both here at the end of the season.
Oh, well.
I think Nuttall will bag more.
Well, Nuttall's already winning. What, I mean, from now?
From now, yeah.
Right, I'll have to make friends with Mickey Mellon. Can you play Fondop a bit more?
To be honest with you, I don't think either of them are going to be the main partner of Norwood. To be honest with you,
I hope he gets a bloody hat-trick at weekend.
So, you know what? It's the kind of game.
I hope Nuttall does as well.
It's the kind of game that he might go with Fondop and he might score a few goals. You got good. Yeah. You're happy hunting.
Well, but what we'll do, if you want, is between now and the end of the season, if Nuttall scores more, you give 20 quid to Kershaw's, and if Fondop scores more, I'll give 20 quid to Kershaw's.
All right, that's a deal.
Yeah.
Right.
But what if you don't play Fondop?
Then he can't score, can he?
Yeah.
Well, fair enough. Come on, Mickey, do us a favour.
Right, thanks very much for calling, Aaron.
All right, pal. See you in a bit.
Back to the footy. Cheers, mate. Right.
Our mate Eminem didn't come on to talk reffing, did he?
No, he didn't. No, he just pointed out that Fondop played Bayern last time we played at Newport away.
Yeah, that was his debut.
Then he got injured though.
Oh, it was his debut.
He got injured.
He got injured. He got his debut was against Scunthorpe. He got knocked out and got taken off, but he scored in them 2 games because he had to sit out a game against. Who was it in between? I think it was. Oh, it's Bristol Rovers in between because we won. We beat Scunthorpe. We beat Bristol Rovers, and then Fondop.
Nobody cares.
Okay.
Right.
Came back.
Right. Thanks for watching. Don't forget you can buy your tickets for the Christmas do, can't they? when Dave will be reminiscing on Mike Fondop's career at Oldham, minute by minute, won't you?
Hour by hour. Yeah. So if you want to come to the Fondop show at Christmas,
it's going to be the naughtiest Christmas party in Oldham that night, isn't it?
it's going to be the maddest.
It's going to be the maddest. That's what I mean.
You're gonna put the thing on.
No, I can't bother with that.
Okay, but what about just buy me coffee?
Nah, give him a week off, will we?
Okay,
but you can buy us one if you want.
Yeah,
you know how to do it.
Yeah.
Thanks for getting involved, and good luck to Latics at the weekend.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you for listening to the Boundary Park Alert System, a QPod production hosted and produced weekly by Matt Dean, Andy Halliwell and Dave Bradley. QPod is Oldham's only dedicated podcast production company, and if you'd like to learn more about how podcasting can help take your brand to the next level, visit kupod.co.uk. A huge thank you goes to all those people who subscribe to the podcast on Spotify. We really appreciate you all. Please visit oafcpodcast.co.uk and click Be a Supporter or find the link in the show notes if you'd like to help us fund the show. It's only $2.99 per month to subscribe, but if you'd rather make a one-off donation, please visit buymeacoffee.com/OAFC podcast or click the link on our website. Don't miss the Latics football phone-in every Wednesday live from 8:30 p.m. Please visit youtube.com/@OAFC podcast and do hit subscribe while you are there. You can also follow and interact with us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and TikTok @OAFC podcast. Big thanks go to Eileen Finnegan for writing our excellent weekly blog, which we encourage you to read on our website every Saturday morning, and also to Paul Prendergast for providing us with all the Latics Mind questions. The title music for the show is by Manchester DJ and producer Starion, and for more information visit bandcamp.com/Red Laser Records. If you'd like to be a guest or contribute to the show, we would love to hear from you. Until then, see you next time.